You click to save money and dodge junk, and you're in the right place. In the next minutes, we're pulling back the curtain on 10 Subway items that look fresh, but hide sugar, sodium, and lab-style additives. Let's start with the one that charges you more for less truth, the tuna. It sits at a premium price, while independent tests have reportedly struggled to find tuna DNA, pointing to a processed blend built to mimic the texture. If you thought 100% real meant peace of mind, you might want to watch before you order lunch. Let's start with the upcharge that sells you peace of mind. You pay more for tuna because it's pitched as clean, 100% real protein. But independent labs have reportedly struggled to find tuna DNA in what's sold as tuna. That gap between promise and product is the problem you actually pay for. The price sits near the top tier, as if species identity comes guaranteed with the receipt. The truth is, third-party tests and consumer lawsuits have raised doubts about what fish it is and how heavily it's processed. You're buying a label that says certainty, while the science points to a blend that behaves like tuna without proving it is tuna. Think of a texture match built in a factory, like a foam mattress made to feel like a feather bed. The bite is smooth, the flake is uniform, the spread holds together. Not by nature, by design. That design is helped along by stabilizers that keep oily fish and mayo from breaking, so the spoonable mix stays glossy and compliant shift after shift. Seafood mislabeling happens across markets, and the more you heat and process fish, the more the DNA breaks apart. Shelf-stable pouches and bulk tubs travel far, get handled hard, and live in cold storage before they ever hit the line. By the time the mix is scooped, you get something uniform, reliable, and oddly anonymous. Food service seafood salads often stretch the spend. Starches, vegetable protein, and other binders create volume, fix water, and keep the emulsion stable. They also blur the primary ingredient. You don't see the add-ins, but you feel them in that pasty, even smear that never separates, even when it's been sitting. This is why the premium feels off. You pay more not for pristine fish, but for a processed product engineered to act like it. Lab reports question the species, processing hides the clues, and the supply chain sands off the texture until it's one note. You're not just overpaying, you're paying for uncertainty. So the payoff is simple. The sandwich to skip if you want real value and a clear species identity is the tuna. Take a pass when your goal is clean protein and straight answers. So if the priciest protein raises identity questions, what happens when the sweet stuff pretends to be bread? What if that warm, fresh-baked smell is less kitchen and more sales pitch? You walk in, your stomach nods yes, and the loaf that should anchor your sandwich behaves like dessert. Not an accident, a design choice. Let's start with the claim that trips people up. The white bread loads enough sugar to blur the line between staple and sweet. It tastes soft, a little sweet, and strangely uniform from end to end. The crumb isn't rustic. It's engineered to melt fast and ask for another bite. That's not craft. That's a formula built to win on craveability. Here's the legal wrinkle. In some places, regulators didn't treat this as everyday bread at all. Courts tagged it as confectionery because of the sugar-to-flour ratio. When the rules say your loaf lives in the same category as sweets, you're not ordering a neutral base. You're ordering dessert in sandwich form. Now the body side of it. High sugar plus refined flour hits quick. You get a fast blood sugar spike, then the dip. Add in dough conditioners whose whole job is to keep it soft and stall staling. And you've got a roll that feels fresh long after real bread would firm up. It's like a candy bar with a crust, quick rush, gentle chew, no rough edges. And that signature store aroma? Think movie theater popcorn. That's sensory engineering. The scent is tuned and pushed through the air so you crave before you read the board. Cozy, yes, but also calculated to make you upgrade size, sauce, cookies, the works. Let's talk what's under the hood. Dough conditioners, emulsifiers, and preservatives standardize shape, extend softness, and mask staling. They even the bake, keep the crumb tight, and keep the crust thin and pliable instead of real-deal crusty. Your mouth reads that as fresh. The label reads that as aided. So what's the payoff here? The shock isn't a mystery spice or a fancy flour. It's sugar, enough of it to push this white bread into confectionery in certain legal tests. That means your neutral carrier-stacked sweetness on top of whatever sauce and meat you choose. If the staple itself is amped up with sugar and aids, what happens when you order the comfort items drowning in sauce? Now let's move on to the saucy classic that reads like a chemistry set. It tastes like Sunday dinner, until you read the fine print. On the board, it's hearty meatballs and rich marinara, budget-friendly and filling. You get warmth, red sauce, and a soft roll that soaks it up. Comfort, boxed and bagged for a quick lunch. But here's the kicker. The label reads like a lab. The sauce leans on high fructose corn syrup, thickeners, and preservatives to hold that glossy sheen day after day. The meatballs are bulked with fillers and binders that cut cost and fix shape. The smell says nah. The ingredient deck says factory. Bite into one and you get that odd spring. A meatball that chews like bread paste, springy from starch, not from real muscle fibers. That isn't a slow-simmered sphere of beef. It's restructured meat built to behave. Soy protein and breadcrumbs step in for muscle, and the blend stays neat and uniform from edge to edge. That neatness is the point. Restructured meats use binders, so every ball survives freezing, shipping, and a steam table without crumbling. Shape holds, yield climbs, and the bite feels the same at noon and at close. Cost drops. Flavor gets flattened. You pay in texture, not just in taste. Now the marinara. Watch how it moves. It doesn't cling like tomatoes cooked down with oil and herbs. It flows like syrup, glossy, sweet, shelf-steady for long hauls. Thickeners tune the body. Preservatives extend the life. High fructose corn syrup sweetens the hit, so the sauce plays nice with a sugar-heavy roll. Here's what that build means for you. The sodium load stacks from two sides, processed sauce and processed meat. Shelf-stable formulas prize consistency over freshness, and salt is the blunt tool that keeps flavors on after storage and reheats. Add the sweet sauce, and your comfort pick drifts toward dessert. So the real kicker lands here. Comfort turns into a sodium trap with dessert-level sweetness. Not Italian. Industrial. The payoff is clear. What turns this sub into a sodium bomb disguised as Italian comfort food? A combo of high fructose corn syrup, thickeners, preservatives, and salt-heavy, filler-laced meatballs. Skip it if you're guarding blood pressure and your budget. And if chicken is your fallback, healthy choice, there's one more curveball coming. You order poultry to keep it lean and simple. Breaded chicken looks safe, middle of the road, no drama. Golden crust, tidy patty, clean protein box checked. That's the pitch. But look close. The patties are uniform, round, and strangely smooth. The ingredient panels tell you why. Soy protein, binders, and stabilizers step in to stretch meat and lock the bite. You get a neat circle that behaves the same every time, not because it's prime breast, but because it's built to be predictable. Think of it like particle board, not a solid plank, but bits glued into a tidy shape. It cuts clean and holds firm, but it's not the same as real wood. Same story here. The patty bites through with a steady, spongy chew that says mixture, not muscle. Food scientists have tested fast food chicken and found reduced chicken DNA when fillers and heavy processing crowd the mix. That tracks with what's on that label. If you swap in cheaper proteins and starches, the detectable chicken drops. The product still looks like chicken. The test reads something else. Now follow it through the system. These patties are made to last. Pre-cooked, vacuum-sealed, and reheated. That method favors shelf life and logistics. It survives trucks, storage, and steam tables. Your needs, freshness, clean flavor, real texture, comes second to durability. Why add starches and soy isolates at all? Cost, consistency, and a juicier feeling bite. Starches soak up water and hold it during heat, so the patty feels moist even after a long day. Soy isolates boost protein numbers on paper while keeping price down per serving. The trade-off lands on your tongue. The chew is uniform, the flavor muted, and the chicken reads thin. Here's the real kicker. When the protein is padded, your money and your macros get padded too. You pay for fillers, you eat fillers, and the thing you came for, straightforward chicken, shrinks in the mix. So the payoff. Food scientists claim Subway's breaded chicken clocks in at about half real chicken DNA because tests on processed patties found heavy processing and significant fillers. If you want cleaner protein, you might want to go unbreaded where possible or skip it. So what is the takeaway when the premium fish, the sweetbread, the comfort classic, and the chicken all raise flags? Premium price means nothing when the identity, sugar load, or protein quality is staged. Your smartest move is to skip the items that hide the most processing and save your cash for food that's honest about what it is. That's how you cut junk without guesswork. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who orders on autopilot. Help them keep cash and cut the junk. The real kicker is what we audit next. Drop a comment. Should we dig into sauces, soups, or the healthy wraps? Your pick sets the next target.